All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. How's everyone going? By popular demand, and I was probably going to do it anyway because it's about that time when One Harmony needs an update, but I'm going to do a deep dive into the One Harmony chart, and we're going to go back and we're going to take a historical look at the chart and just look at some of the moves it's made to try and get a feel for how this chart operates and how the market in One Harmony acts in a very bullish manner. But there's also going to be a little bit of caution at the moment if you're new to One Harmony and you're looking at making an entry trade. I just want to kind of give you some pointers that it could be kind of a misleading time where it looks like it's breaking out, but it may be just a fake out. So we just want to be a little bit cautious at the moment if we're entering new trades. But we'll get into that in a minute. Please like and subscribe to the video. Please click the notification bell if you're new to the channel. And yeah, just share. And I'm super excited and super stoked now that I'm nearly, an official YouTube channel, because they're now allowing me to do the comments where I can share polls and stuff like that, which will be great because it's hard sometimes in, the comments I'm seeing all your requests for chart reviews or, to look into the charts, and I would love to have time to do them all, but I think what I'm going to do from now is collate all of them, or in groups of 4, and see which ones are the most popular and then do them, because one, that helps my channel grow because I'm doing more popular ones, and 2, I'm giving the best content to the majority of people that watch my channel. So that's that. I'm not going to harp on about that anymore, but we are going to take a little step back in time. So for those of you that were lucky enough to have had one on the radar back in early January of 2021. Now, that was not that long ago, but this is the beautiful thing about crypto, is that back in January, which was not even 3 months ago, over 3 months ago, whatever it is, like around 3 months ago, you could have bought One Harmony for about just under a cent, right? And that was after a big price move, so it had a run up from as low as, 0.4 of a cent. So, it did a big, massive move here. So we're going to start the journey from here, because I always like to, sometimes you see these big moves and you're like, oh, I'm excited about that one. That's a bullish chart. Now, very easy, if you see these sort of things, to FOMO in, and you could have gone, oh, I bought in here and then it went back to half a cent. So I was at 0.8 of a cent and went back to half a cent. Oh, I'm scared, I'm going to sell or whatever. But we all know where Harmony's at now. It's at 21 cents. So if you did do that move, well, condolences. But if you did kind of stick around and see the potential in the chart and, hold tight throughout the crypto roller coaster, then you are sitting very pretty right now. And so I'm going to look at the price moves and then the consolidation period. So that initial move was pretty early in the early days for this crypto. It took about, and we're using this kind of downtrend breakout analysis, right? So and we connect these wicks. So we connect 2 wicks and you can see that touch. So that was our resistance, our downtrend resistance. So that's our bull flag that we needed to break out of. And it took about 19 days that first time to kind of break out and I guess confirm that breakout with that large 4-hour candle right there, right? So that's fine. And we'll kind of adjust this up. And then we look at the percentage move it did next. So it did a 26% move. So if you bought here, went back down, kind of went sideways for quite a while, and then you could have been up 26 cents in under 26% in under 3 weeks, which is not bad in crypto. Like, some of us holding XRP are only up 100% in a year after, going up 300% at one point and then pulling back again. So that's not a bad move for a crypto, considering it did continue to go up. So then on the 28th of January, the next kind of retracement or correction period or accumulation period, downtrend. So touch, touch, touch. And the beautiful thing about these wicks is they kind of give you that guide very clearly, you know, like this chart is very, very easy to play if you're new into this market. And I think people have said this to me in the comments, like it's a very simple chart to play the breakout. So you can see the next one, 5 days, nearly 6 days. There was an accumulation here. So even if you FOMO'd in it a cent or just under a cent, you only had to wait 5 days before it broke out again and gave you another 33% move. So once again, if you FOMO'd in on the 0.08 cents here, you're now up like over 50%, right? So very short accumulations before the pumps, right? And then we've got another just under 6 days after this particular move. And sorry, 34%, yeah. So after the peak of this particular move, we had an even smaller accumulation time period. So, and I'll call it, when the candle opened above that line, so not the candle that crossed through it. We're talking about 4 days now, so it's getting even quicker to do the accumulation, right? And then, so on that particular day in the 8th of February, 2021, this year, then it decided to get super bullish and did 100% move in a couple of days, right? And reached an all-time high at that point of 2 cents. Now, I think I was back here in this accumulation, so I'm super lucky that I got a chunk of my position here, and I have entered since, but super lucky that I got kind of put onto this one early, in this kind of chunk somewhere here, maybe even before in that chunk there. So super lucky there that one of my fellow, one of the people that watched the channel early on was telling me about Harmony One, and at first I thought he was talking about Harmony Gold, but I'm glad I looked into Harmony One and chose to get in. But anyway, we digress. So we're up now at 2.2 cents as an all-time high, and you think, well, that's a good move. I've done 150% on my 0.5 cent token, woohoo! And then 2 days and 20 hours for the next breakout. Didn't even want to kind of call that a ceiling, that 2.2 cents, So, and if anyone's held something like VeChain, I think we had the 2.2 cent barrier in VeChain for months on end, months and months and months. So this one was the right time to get in where it was just uber bullish. So 2 days and a little bit, so nearly 3 days, and it breaks out again and gives us another 98% move up to a 3 or nearly 4 cent target. And then it kind of cools down a little bit, so it's not really wanting to go up too quickly too soon after that. So now it gives us a 17-day accumulation period where it kind of fakes out, pulls back down below the line, and then kind of officially breaks out. So 17 days of waiting to go and get the next price action. And that price action isn't a push on the new all-time high, but if you see from here, an entry on that breakout would have given you about an 86% gain in a couple of days, in maybe 3 or 4 days. So, but once again, we've set a new all-time high, 5.3 cents. From that peak to the breakout of the next accumulation was 6.6 days. So we're back to these short periods where we're not having to wait so long. Then it breaks out again on the 12th of March, 151%, so like kind of discounting this little cup here, which, I guess we could go, it was 2 moves of, maybe 60% and an 80% or whatever. But yeah, we'll call that one big move, over a few days, and it's now pushed its 10.8 cent barrier marker point. And at this point, it would be easy to kind of go, oh, this thing's run out of steam or it's going hard. But no. 3 days and 20 hours later, it goes and does another 140% move over a few more days. And it will pull it back a bit and go, it did 130% move over a matter of maybe a week, up to this all-time high here of 21 cents. But then it's kind of, now it's double tapping a 22.1 cent bullish zone and is in a longer accumulation of 6 days and 20 hours and looking like it's breaking out. So the question is now, is this breaking out again, And I guess if we look at it on this angle of, this particular move here, then yes, it's broken out of that range. But there's also this potential that it wants to kind of come back down and test this kind of tighter area of accumulation, like this 18 cent level. I think there's a lot of action in here, and if we kind of pull that up and try and catch some of that wick action there, you can kind of see there's a lot of touches in that zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down to test that 19.4 cents, maybe spend a bit of time in the 18.8 cents level before it fires and out of there. So like I say, it's not a bearish signal, but I wouldn't be surprised. And the fact that you see all these flags, they're very clear of like big run up and then kind of weaker volume drops off. And you can see that did happen here. If you called that the all-time high, it drops back weaker, but we didn't get these kind of bullish wicks all through there. We kind of got this flatter period. So it's kind of a little bit different to the other times where there wasn't kind of that rush to buy back in. Now, that could be just because the market cap is a little bit higher, and I guess the percentage gain opportunity is not as high anymore. But I mean, this thing is bullish, and the next move it's going to do is, looking back on this chart, the next move is going to be, if you average out the last 5 or 6 moves, which are probably an average of just under 100%, you could clearly have a guesstimation that on, let's just put something in there and have a little guess. I've got my 44 to 48 cent marker for, I guess, a measured move, or maybe one or two of these. But let's now have a look at from here where we've got to go. So it's 106% to that 44 mark, and it's 124% to that 44 mark. So if we're going to call that this is a breakout, and we're going to say that from that particular wick here, following that trend, and then this was the breakout and this candle was the confirmation on the 4 hourly, then based on that we've got a move that's within reason, as in not necessarily that straight move, but maybe those kind of up, kind of cup, and then second leg moves, 167%, maybe one of these moves where it kind of breaks out, cups back, and then kind of fires on for that second leg. So it wouldn't be out of the question based on this chart to be making a guesstimation, but you can see that it's in this similar pattern, where besides these 19-day and these 17-day accumulation periods, which in and of themselves you could have been making profit on any particular series of these swings, but yeah, we can see that we've got 5 days, 4 days, 2 days, 6 days, 3 days, 6 days. So it would be quite normal for this chart to say that it has broken out and it's looking to do its next leg, but just err on the side of caution. I think if you're making a brand new entry into this chart, do a portion of what you'd be willing to put in, to give it a chance to pull back maybe, then you add more, and then if it does keep firing, then you just keep adding all the way up, and you're still going to get a good run at it. It's just that I think sometimes if you add your entire position right now, whichever move it makes, you're kind of like, I wish, especially if it makes a slight pullback, then you're like, why didn't I wait? Why didn't I wait for that pullback? Whereas if you take, 3 or 4 nibbles at it, you're kind of, you're not doing that thing where you bought the sneakers and then they were half price the next day. You can kind of go, well, I'll buy one of the sneakers and then the next day I'll buy the other sneaker at half price. So I've got it now at 3/4 of the full price. So that's One Harmony. It is shaping up to basically hit these targets that I set from the fibs and the kind of measured moves. And, like I say, just a beautiful chart, a beautiful token, a beautiful market to be playing in right now. And, just these clear moves. And I guess I'm just going to hide all the drawings and indicators and go, back from this move where there was a lot of sideways action before that, besides, I guess, and I guess if you look at it, for 1.4 cents was its all-time high previously back in August last year. There was a long bearish cup that was formed, and then maybe this little tiny handle before that bullish move, so that 1 cent level up, but I guess this was the area where we were super lucky to get in if we did. When it was on the radars, where it's like bullish, pulls back, accumulation period, and then fires on up. And then you can just see, based on this entire move, like let's say if you did get in this half a cent level, somewhere around those lows, 350x on your money up until now, which, and in 74 days, I'm looking at moving into the precious metals next, and I've got, I'm entering into charts that have been in, these sort of moves have played out over 3 or 4 years, so to get these moves to play out, like these bearish, or these cup accumulation periods to play out in 6 months, or even less than 6 months, maybe 4 months, to get them to play out in 4 months. And then have your 350x move or your 3,500% move. What other market can you do? And I know that hindsight's a great thing. And, if you said, if only I put all of my money into One Harmony, I would be just walking away on Easy Street. Well, that's the thing, is like, to do that is very risky, but when you spread it across a lot of projects and a lot of cryptocurrencies and, you hedge, some of it into the solid, stalwarts like the Bitcoins and the Ethereums, because you kind of know that they will do well in the bull market, and these ones, well, you would be a very, very knowledgeable and wise and fortune teller kind of soul if you could foresee this. I know that when I was investing in here, I had no idea that it was going to do this sort of stuff, but very quickly, because and why I kept adding is, and this is the beautiful thing about doing a YouTube channel, is that I realized very quickly that it was the most popular video. So I'm like, oh, there's something there, like if people are demanding this content, I'm like, we're onto a good thing here, and I just think, and I keep comparing Harmony to Theta, and I think that it's kind of tapping on the heels of Theta, as in the percentage gains from March, and I think it could do very well, like I say, I've got my targets for 44 cents to reassess. I know some people say, why, you're stupid, like, why aren't you staking it? Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm a trader. I'm learning how to trade. I'm not going to walk away disappointed that I didn't, keep every single token, stake them, get more of them, blah, 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 play that game. I don't have the time to be doing that. I have the time to be putting in positions, walking away, doing a couple of videos, keeping myself in the game. I'm not a full-time crypto nerd. I know what I want to do. I'm trying to make money out of this bull run in particular, to go on and invest into other things and build my portfolio so that I can then maybe start businesses, run businesses, do investing the other way, buy property, so to really kind of build up my wealth and my portfolio to do things that I want to do with my time, as opposed to being, needing to have that hourly wage. Not that I love my job. Don't get me wrong. It's just, wouldn't it be nice to be able to choose your hours a bit more, right? So that's what it's at for me. I'm not playing the full crypto game to be, a passive income sitting there, like living off my staking dividends or whatever you like. I just want to kind of make a big chunk of profit and, pay the tax on it and move on and do the next year, and try and repeat it over again over a couple of years just to really build a solid base, So, and that's why I'm moving into the precious metals, because even though they're not going to be moving as quickly in these percentage gains, I still will see these percentage gains over the next few years. And that suits me because I think it's very anxiety. You can be very anxious in crypto because things happen so quickly, and you put money in, and it goes down. And it's like nearly a one eye open at all times. Whereas with a good mining stock, you can kind of go, well, I'll put some money in there. The chart's at the bottom. I'm just going to sit back and wait till the results come in, wait till the price of the underlying commodity goes up. Wait till the mine gets done, and there's these key moments where you can kind of follow a stock, do a bit of research once a month and add a little bit, and then all of a sudden this thing's, grown by 10x or 20x or 30x on you over a couple of year period, based on big moves in news or, turning cash flow or things like that, whereas these crypto projects, as cool as they are and as positive they are, they're still very new and they will all correct in the bear market. And I'm getting a lot of those questions. When do you think it's going to correct? What's going to happen? How low will it go? It's like no one knows, but you can only look back at charts, and a lot of things, including Bitcoin, will retrace by about 80% after their all-time highs in this bull market. So some people say, no, it's not going to happen this time. This time's different, but history hasn't proved that yet. So if this is the first time that Bitcoin doesn't retrace 80%, well, blow me stupid. I don't know, whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it only pulls back 50%, woohoo. That's great. But all that means is that the next time Bitcoin isn't going to be as aggressive. It isn't going to grow by as much. It's kind of getting to be a little bit more like a currency where the fluctuation isn't as much, and that's when bigger money starts coming in because it's not as scary on the pullbacks. So that is that. Harmony 1, we're looking for 44 to 48 cents, and we've had a solid journey there. And from a time perspective, the accumulation has played out about an average amount of time compared to the other times. And yeah, the next move being 150%ish is about normal. So that's what we're looking for. So if you're new to the game or new to the Harmony, there's no guarantees. It's not financial advice. I have no control over this market. I can only look at what I see, and I see that this thing is bullish, and the volume is increasing. The indicators are saying bullish, and the RSI is also saying bullish, so the stock and the RSI are both bullish indicators. And if we go to the daily now, and we'll take away those drawings and leave the indicators in, we can see on the daily it's actually a really good sign that there's a breakout, because this blue line has just kind of kicked around and it's going in upwards bullish crossover of the red line. So I think that the more I kind of look at it, the more I could be fairly confident to say that the breakout is upon us. And it could be one of those days where we wake up and one has done one of those another big crazy moves. It's in the bull zone on the RSI, kind of turned around there. So everything is pointing skyward for Harmony 1 right now. So I'll catch you on the next one. Please like and subscribe if you've watched all the way to the end. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you later. Bye, Jared. Bye.